Oh, it's super dark. Hello, everybody. I toast to you and all you do. I hope you're having a fantastic day. So this evening, I want to talk a little bit about magic. I want to talk about a magic that I don't think people talk about very often, and that's the magic of music and dance. And this is a magic that has been used forever. I honestly think that if you were to travel back to the beginning of time and you were to go to the first people, and when they were sitting around, I really feel that music would have been something that would have, that pattern, that natural look for pattern, it would have happened in sound. And, there's evidence of music going way, way, way back. And musical instruments going way back. Some of the oldest are rocks, that you hit the rock and it makes a different sound. And way long time ago, I mean, back in the Stone Age, back way before that even, music was something that happened. And it's been always a way to bring people together. It's a way for people to communicate when they don't have language. I absolutely love listening to music in other languages. Super into Mongolian music. No idea what they're saying. They have this throat singing that is amazing. And it speaks to my soul. And it's not just the Mongolian music. I'm listening to Finnish rock and roll, which is really interesting. Irish, I like Omnia. If you're not familiar with them, they're a great pagan band. They can go some weird places. At the same time, they have some great music. And when I'm listening to specifically Omnia, it calls to my ancestors. Coming from an Irish and Celtic and Scottish background, the music from that region, it resonates with my soul. It resonates with my being. I can feel the ancestralness. And maybe a past life. I don't know. But that's there's just this connection there, and it's amazing. And so when I'm listening to that music, I can feel it resonate in my soul. It's the same. I used to listen to the Celtic women. They do the tour and they sing that whatever, and so I really enjoy that. I love the bagpipes. I love the sounds of Celtic folk music. It really speaks to me. The list could go on and on. I love music. Music is a big part of my life. It's a big part of my practice. I use it in so many different ways. So I figured, why not share that information? And so there are some people who are like, it's not, you don't have to be musically inclined. There people are like, well, I can't sing, so I can't get into music. And that's not true. Maybe you just need to find an instrumental song. Listen to music in other languages. Like I said, the Mongolian throat singing is this amazing. I can't even imitate it. I feel like I would be disgracing them. It's just this amazing thing that they learn, and it's beautiful. And there's no way that I'm going to sing along to it, but it totally, you just start listening and you start getting it, and it's there, and it really does resonate. I totally recommend that. There's a popular band that just came. They've become more nationally known. They're called The Who, and they do a bunch of music with other bands, American bands. So they've got songs. They've got one with Jacoby, and they've got one, Jacoby, the singer from Papa Roach. They've got one with, what's her name? It's called Woman Song. Beautiful song. I can barely listen to it. I'm in tears, sobbing. Okay, it's hard to listen to. It's just very much about, the strength and power of a woman. Oh, it's amazing. Okay. But when we start listening to music, so there's a couple ways that it becomes magical. So one, the rhythms of music tap into the rhythms of earth, the rhythms of nature, the rhythms that our heartbeats. That, I don't know if you can hear. That beat is probably the first beat we ever danced to. And it's the first sound you heard. In your mother's womb, the first sound you heard was this beat. It's a soothing beat. It makes you feel at home. It connects you with the earth. It resonates in that way. And then from there, the walking of feet, and these rhythms and these sounds and people coming together. I imagine that when our nomadic ancestors walked from one place to another, they couldn't help but find themselves walking in step to each other. And then this led to singing songs together and making music together. Maybe as they walked and they're walking along, and then here comes another animal, and that's just another sound, and you begin to bring those together, and then you have this music, and it's beautiful. But it's that bringing together. So we have that natural rhythm, and these rhythms then help us come together. And in that coming together, we get that communal energy. And I've talked about this briefly in some other places, but I talked about it when I talked about the mantras. When you use a mantra that everybody has used, then that draws off of that energy from other people. I very much feel like the song Hush Little Baby. When you sing that song and you sing these traditional lyrics that have been sung for hundreds of years. I don't know how old the song is. We're going to say 100 years. Okay, it's been sung for 100 years all around the world in different languages by mothers who are in desperate need of sleep, praying, hush little baby, please stop crying. I will give you anything that you want in the whole world if you would just please be quiet and go to sleep for me. Okay, that's what that song's all about. And if you're not a mom, it's hard to understand that. But if you are a mom, you'd get it. And when you sing that song to your baby in the middle of the night, I don't know about other moms. For me personally, I really felt like as I sang that I was connecting with all of these other mothers. And one, I felt like I wasn't alone. I am not the only person. I'm not the only mother. I'm not the only parent who has stayed awake all night with a crying child, who is so desperate to sleep and calm their child that they are going to sing. I look up the song to the nursery rhyme in the middle of the night so that you have something that you can just sing over and over and over again. And not only does it soothe you, your baby, but it soothes you because of that. It helps you feel connected, and you're tapping into that energy. And your baby is hearing this song that babies have heard for 100 years, and it calms them because it's calmed hundreds of other babies. And ironically, the only other song that I really ever felt hushed my children in that way was the national anthem. I think that's more because I'm very patriotic in that every time I hear that song, it brings such... Okay, you guys can all make fun of me for this, whatever, but it brings such patriotic joy that I cry every single, just talking about it. And I'm not a crying person. I'm the kind of person that if you cry, I'm probably going to yell at you. But when I hear the national anthem, again, it touches in with all of those people. And I hope that people who live in Canada or who live in whatever country hear their national anthem and feel the same way. You're connecting with all of these people who value and believe and honor the same thing. And okay, yeah, in this modern time, let's not get into the politics of that. Let's talk about it ideally, the ideology of it, okay? Ideally, in a perfect world, this is how we should feel, okay? But anyways, when you sing that song that has been sung and sung and sung and everybody has sung it, then you are connecting. And all throughout history, you can find different songs. Hymns are really, really popular. And you know them, you learn them. Even as a as a non-Christian, I know lots of hymns. Some of my very favorite songs are hymns or biblical, I really like gospel music because it's beautiful. It resonates with this beautiful energy and it calls to your soul. And that's what music should do. So you have this magical aspects of it being, this rhythm, and then bringing people together and tapping into this great energy. And then it also helps you to bring all of your energies together. So we talk a lot about grounding and centering and focusing and your intent. Okay, so when you're singing a song and you're writing a song, or you're singing in a group with people and you're all singing the same song. You guys can't see me. I mean, I could just talk in the dark. Let's see. Oh, it's not going to come back on now because it's mad. It's going to make noise. Ready? All right. Anyways, so it lasts officially 10 minutes and 15 seconds, I guess. But when you're putting all of this energy into the music, and you're putting all of your focus into the music, then that's exactly where your focus is. It helps you ground, it helps you to focus and center and do all of these things that we spend so much time trying to practice. One method that I would highly recommend to people who are like, well, I just have so much trouble focusing and grounding. This. If you sat just for a moment and listen to this beat, and then listen to your own heartbeat. And sometimes it's hard to feel your own heartbeat because you've got so much going on. But if you start, we know this is what your heart sounds like. And then calm. Take a deep breath. And listen for your own heartbeat. If you have to plug your ears, do it. But listen for your own heartbeat and focus. Listen to that rhythm. Let that rhythm sink into you. Let that rhythm emit from you, from your heartbeat, spreading out into the world. And really feel that rhythm. And that beat can help you ground and center. Now, maybe you need a more consistent thing, and it can't be you clapping because you want to sit still. So drumming is a great way, and there are so many places you can find drumming music. There's no shortage of it. Any kind of drum beat. I personally love Native American or African drumming. It has tribalness to it. You can feel that, and you can really get in touch with that. It's beautiful. Rattles, all of these kind of things, they all make this noise, okay? This beat, this rhythm. And it... I love it. I'm sorry, it's just too funny. Wait, let's see. I think that I can... Oh my God. I turned that light on and it made my ear ring. Let's see. That'll work. Let's try this. So... Oh, that was weird. What time is it? Maybe I should be done. Oh, I gotta get the kid at some point. What time is it? Sorry, everybody. Thank you for being patient with me. See, this is how you know it's real. Oh, we're good. So, drumming isn't... Okay, so we have the drumming, and this helps you get in tune with the rhythm. And that's one aspect of music. So the other aspect of music is in the vibrations, in the tones, in the notes. We've all heard the note that's like, I can't listen to that. It hurts my ears. It's too much. It's bad. And we're like, can't do that. I imagine you just heard the notes of the train. Now, this is a noise that has been chosen because it's not going to blend in with other sounds. It is just the train sound. And they pick a certain frequency of notes, I'm sure, or whatever, on purpose so that it doesn't blend in and so that you always hear that. But there are tones. So a great example is the bowls. We've all seen the bowls. I don't have one. I personally can't make... I love music. I can't get a good... But those are great examples. Bells. You ring the bell, ding, and you get that noise that resonates out. And these sounds, they vibrate, they resonate, they send out a frequency. And this is a whole nother aspect of magic. So we have the aspects like what we're saying, where we're connecting with these energies and natural energies and communal energies and ancient energies, and we're connecting in this rhythm because we're all walking to the same beat. We all have the same heartbeat. Whatever that, those are eternal heartbeat. Those are eternal rhythms. Now the tones, the the different frequencies, you can adjust. This is like a crazy scientific world that I could just like geek out on. I don't want to go too geeky like this is one of those things that has been studied all throughout time. They studied, during the medieval times, and they would study the sounds to see if they would heal you. They would study sounds to see if they could hurt you. They would study sounds to see if they could change your brain and make you think differently. They studied frequencies and how they affect all different parts of your body. And there's a lot of things that we've learned. We've learned that frequencies do affect your body. Some frequencies can break glass. Some frequencies are so low and minute, like the frequency that the earth sends off, that you don't even hear them. You don't even notice because it's vibrating so low, like, it's so low. And you don't notice that. They've done crazy studies where they like different frequencies in a room to affect your mood or affect the behavior of people, just like the colors of the wall. That's why walls are always beige. Beige makes you calm. There are frequencies that make you calm. I'm sure that there's some law somewhere that says TVs can't use this or that because they'll do whatever. Maybe not. You gotta watch out for that. That's where those conspiracy theories come in. Anyways. I would totally look up frequency magic if that's something that you're interested in. There is some great information out there, both scientifically, which is something that I love, and then magically. There are books upon books about frequencies all over YouTube. You can find musicians who use different frequencies in healing. There's a great runecraft, ritual craft. What is his name? His real name is Kedrick, but I want to say it's ritual craft or rune craft. But he does a lot of music with the runes, and so here's another way of magic. So each rune is associated with a different tone, a different frequency, a different sound. And through that, you get magic. And so runes are very complicated, whatever. They're not just letters. And these letters don't just represent one word. Like, they're like, Rodejo is the travel. It's traveling. It's the road. And yes, but it also means so much more than that. It's the journey between here and there. And it's just it's the change and the courage and all of the things that it takes to take that journey. It's an entire idea. It's an entire concept. And part of that concept is sound. That sound also resonates and connects into numerology. And so each letter resonates with a sound, and that sound connects with a number. So you have the number 1, which goes with A, and A has a sound. And so I've talked with some people who are amazing, and they just, their brain, but they say, in our ancient times, there weren't all the letters that we have now, and that's why when you do out the numerology that by 9s, it doesn't equal. There's 1 left. You have this empty spot. Well, that's because it's all miscombobulated, and that there were probably only 18 sounds to begin with, and they were probably the hard and soft versions of the letters, or some kind of opposites of the nature, and it has to do with sound because our ancestors would not have written A. And that would not have equaled 1, but it would have been the sound A that we make is associated with this solitary energy of A being, a person, a entity. And we get that kind of energy. It's the sound, okay? So that's just one theory that I've heard from people and read about or whatever that associates with the numbers and the numerology, and it resonates with these sounds. And so there are 9 different kinds of sounds, and absence of said sound is, I guess, how you could look at that. But anyways, so there are all these different ways that you can associate the frequencies and the sounds and the numbers and the rhythms and the music, all of this. And that's what we call music. And then you bring that into your practice. Now, like I said, you don't have to be musically inclined. I tried to play many of instruments. I was pretty good at the flute in elementary school. I can read music. I love music. I am not a musician. I am not gifted or talented, and I've met people who pick up, even my husband, he picks up a guitar and he can play the guitar. I'm like, oh, it's beautiful. I'm like, I can play the B flat scale on the flute. That is not a musician. So, you don't have to be musically inclined to use music in your practice. Great ways are to find folk music. My more recent ancestors are from the South, and so I also have a very strong affinity connection towards bluegrass music, to hillbilly music, with spoons. I don't know if you can hear that. The Spoon Lady. Look up the Spoon Lady. And just when you're done watching this video and your YouTube thing, put the Spoon Lady Southern music maybe in there. Amazing. She plays some amazing stuff with spoons. It's great. This kind of music really resonates with me. Again, it's just it's just a connection that you have to it. So find the music that resonates with you. This could be from your ancestral line. This could be from your past lives. This could just be music that you really enjoy. I also really enjoy some trivium. Some very, I feel like their music is very complex on a instrumental level. The drummer is amazing. But this is way far from Omnia. I guess I don't feel like it really is, but I'm also like country music, and I like rap music, and I like all kinds of music. I can't play music. I'm not a singer. I'm not going to sing you a song. But that's not the point. The point is bringing that music into your energy, bringing that energy into your practice, bringing music into your practice, and using that in your magic. And so if you find that you're having trouble concentrating, if you find you can't ground, there are just those small little things that you can do, and music can be a great help. It can also be really super helpful when you're raising energy. So when we're casting circle and we've done all of the things and we're like, yes, we've got everything here, and now we have to raise this energy. Visualization is a great way to do it. Smoke and candles and all of those other visual things. But music is a great way. You bring a bell into your circle, a rattle. Rattles are amazing in ritual. Because they're not set to a whatever, and you can just, and you can use them while you're chanting. You can use them while you're just meditating. If you're working in a group, one thing that we would do as a coven when we were grounding, once you were grounded, you would hum. You would slow hum, and just a grounded hum. And it wasn't a rush to your friends. It's not like a ding. Okay, it's not some kind of alarm. It's just a low, steady hum. And the more that we did this together with each other, the more our hums kind of resonated in the same frequency. Which, if you research even that, and that mantra, and the mantras that go along with that, there's a whole, is only one of them. There is a whole series of prayers that goes along with that are sound-based meditations to help focus with a specific energy. We all know home, because that's the grounding one, and that's the center. They have ones that they do for prayer. They have ones that they do to get rid of bad energy. They have ones that they do to welcome good energy. And it just resonates with a different energy. And sound is that connection. So when you're doing magic, if you're doing magic to raise energy, to grow energy, to something big, listen to some big band music. Listen to some grand orchestra that's, the right Flight of the Bumblebee. Something big and grand. If you're doing some magic to bring yourself down and calm and focus and into the center, some bowl music, some didgeridoos. I love the sound of didgeridoos, although it's a finicky kind of. Anyways, we're not even going to get into that. It's good sounds. I like the Mongolian throat singing for grounding. It's super grounding to me. Very very in the throat, very deep. There's a lot of different native throat singing that's like that. That can all be kind of helpful in that way. Find one that's, of your ancestral line, or maybe your past lives. Or maybe you just find one that really, you listen to it and it really sounds cool and you're like, oh, I really like this. That's how I got into the Finnish rock and roll kind of weird, pagan-y, I don't even know what to call them. Some of their songs have some English. Most of them don't. They have these beautiful voices. They remind me of sirens. If I was to think of a siren and what a siren, someone who would beckon you. They have those kind of just very, draw you in kind of voices that are beautiful. But then it's hardcore rock and roll in the background. It's really entertaining. But find something different. It doesn't have to be that regular music that you listen to. You don't want your magic music to be the same music that you're playing on the radio every day. Now, sometimes there are music. There's a song by Helia. It's called A Moth to a Flame, and it helped me both magically and emotionally and in so many different ways recently get through some troubling times. And some of my own self-destructive behavior, and work through that and be okay with that and be like, okay, forgive yourself for putting yourself in this situation again and again when you didn't see how abusive it was and allowing it to happen. And that's okay, because it's like a moth to a flame. You can't get away from that. But that's a song you hear on the radio, but it's also I used it magically, I use it emotionally, and in many different ways kind of help bring about that change and that energy, because for me, in my meditation, it was that I was like a moth to a flame. I kept getting close to this flame, and I stayed close to the flame. I need this heat. I need the heat of this destructive flame. And I never flew into it before, but now I've flown into this heat. I've flown into the fire, and I can't come back from that. And that's a good thing. I needed to fly into that. I needed that change. I needed to, hence the rising phoenix. But I needed that, and that change was good. And so I used that song magically and emotionally and in so many different levels. And it is one that you hear on the radio. So sometimes it will be one that you hear on the radio. Other times it's going to be one that nobody's ever heard of. The Celtic women, one of the Celtic women CDs that I had some random instrumental song that was I felt like it was a really short song. I felt like it was an interlude. They were like, here's this grand singing song, they're singing in Gaelic and it's beautiful, and then there's this short instrumental, and then there was another Gaelic song. But this short instrumental really spoke to me, and I listened to, I was like, this song, I could just listen to it over and over and over again on repeat, because it called to my ancestral soul. I could feel that in my blood, and it was a weird connection. I really enjoyed that. But that's an offshoot weird, nobody's gonna know that song. So it doesn't matter what the music is. It's gotta be something specific for you, and something that's gonna help you. And now I'm worried that I'm really out of time. So I just don't stop yourself from using music in your practice because you can't sing, or because you're not musically inclined, or because of whatever. Find some music to include into your practice to connect with your ancestors, like I said, to connect with your past lives, to connect with yourself, and, add that to your practice I guess if it's something that calls you, I guess some people aren't going to be like, that's not going to work for me. Although, like a good rattle during ritual, I don't know anybody who's like, I can't handle that. It's bad. They do so much things. I mean, it banishes negative energy because it changes the energy of the room. When my house is super stressful and the kids are all over the place, I'll just put on some music. And it's just like that Loki thing. I'll put on some Trivium, and my kids are like, my youngest loves Trivium too, so she's like all about it. So they just like all beam in, and suddenly they're all moving to the same beat. They're all going along together. And I'm sure that this is something that has been seen for centuries. Okay, I really have to go. It's been like 30 minutes. So let me know how you use music in your practice. Let me know what you think about that. And I hope that everybody has a really blessed rest of your day. Many blessings. And oh wait, where's my cup? Oh, there we go. Okay, so many blessings to you. Oh, I got water everywhere. Blessings, spread the love. I toast to you and all you do, and I hope that you have a fantastic evening and that your life is much blessed. So, oh yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment. Like I said, tell me the music that you listen to. If you're a musician and you make spiritual music, share the link below. I love that. Or you don't have to have spiritual music. I love all music. So if you have a favorite band, I would love to listen. So let me know. We'll talk to you guys all later.